Kalvin, commiserations about the darts there. Not been practicing, clearly. But talking about the football, you're the only outfield player to play every minute so far for England during this tournament. What have you made of Gareth Southgate and the faith that he's shown in you so far?
I don't really know, to be honest. Obviously, I know that he trusts me a lot to play in games like this and to play every minute. It's an honour for me, and the only thing I can keep doing is working hard on the training pitch and try and play as much as possible.
How have you found it adapting to playing with England, which tends to be a bit of a slower pace to what you're used to with your club at Leeds?
Well, I'm not too sure about that, to be honest, because at Leeds, we play football 100 miles per hour, but it's just the quality. Obviously, training with the lads every single day, the quality is, it's top class every day, and there's not one day where the quality might dip or anything like that. So it's just getting used to playing with unbelievable players, and obviously, and I'm enjoying it as well. So
2 goals scored for England so far. How do you score more?
Be more confident when we're on the ball, maybe. Take a few more risks. Me personally as well, and I feel like once we do start scoring, I feel like we'll get a few more as well.
You say take risks. What does that look like on the pitch for you? What would we be looking out for if you're taking more risks?
Maybe if I'm on the ball and I've got time to turn and go forward, and at Leeds I'm used to getting the ball deep and playing them long passes. So obviously I'm new to the team, so I don't really want to be risking the ball too much and losing a little bit of confidence. But at the same time, I'm in a major tournament, so I've got to show what I can do, and hopefully I can do that in the next game.
I suppose that's the balance you have to strike, isn't it? You don't want to lose the ball because you are a new player, but you also want to show what you can do. How do you strike that balance? How do you work out what is the best thing to do in each situation?
Just get yourself in a position where that ball's got to be a risky pass, and getting in positions even in training where if I've got time to turn and play Harry Kane in, play Raheem in, or any of the attacking players, then I'll try and do that. And like I said, I'm new to the team, but I feel like as the games have gone along and I've got more confident, and hopefully I can carry on doing that.
Is Gareth Southgate the type of manager that will say to you, perhaps be a bit more cautious, don't risk the ball, keep possession if you can?
Nah, he's very easygoing. He wants us to attack. He wants us to get goals. He wants us to express ourselves when we've got the ball and when we haven't got it. So I feel like everyone says that Gareth were a defender, so his teams are very defensive. But I feel like if you look at the last 3 games, we haven't conceded a goal, which is good. And if you like my club team where we can score 5 goals and concede 4, then it's probably not as good. So the fact that we're keeping clean sheets is a major positive as well.
Just looking at Germany, how do you strike the balance between focusing on their strengths and working out what you can do to stop their strengths, but also focusing on what England do well as well?
I think just look at the players that they've got in their team, and we know that near enough every single player is a top level player. They've got players in midfield that play for Madrid and stuff like that. So we know it's going to be a difficult game, but we can't always focus on how they're going to do when they're on the ball. We need to try and break them down minute by minute, and we've been working on some stuff in the training ground, and hopefully it works out. It comes off. And
they will be on the ball quite a bit. They're a team that like possession. They enjoy possession. They've got a lot of experience in their midfield, in particular the likes of Tony Cruz. I suppose it'd be your job to try and get the ball back when they're in possession. So how do you go about that? How do you envisage that happening?
Just try and get around them as much as possible. I know it's going to be hard, but I've done it for the last year now in the Premier League. Been playing against top players, and I've done reasonably well. But I know that international level's a totally different level, and I just feel like if I'm feeling good, and my job for the team is winning the ball back and giving it to the more flary players and people that can do something.
And just finally, there's going to be a few more fans inside Wembley, which I imagine would be great for you guys. Does it impact your mindset at all, knowing that there'll be more people supporting England?
Definitely. I think with the support that we've had over the last 3 games, and for more people to be coming in, it's a major boost for us. and obviously we know that the support's very good when we're at Wembley. So we're looking forward to it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. We'll now jump onto Zoom with a couple from Carrie Brown of BeanymanSports.
Hello. I wanted to ask you first of all if Marcelo's been in touch with you.
No, he's not been in touch with me personally. I've had messages from different coaches from the club and stuff like that. But Marcelo's the type of manager that likes to keep things non-contact, and just when he sees you, he speaks to you then.
Everyone's been so impressed with you playing every single minute of this tournament so far. I'd kind of like to get your viewpoint of when you have the ball, of how many options you have to pass to, because there's been a lot of talk about Harry Kane and whether he has as much of a ball as he did in the World Cup. But are there just now so many options, but it's not just route one?
I don't really know, to be honest. I feel like when I'm in a position to get the ball and turn forward, there's loads of options, and I just feel like sometimes, like I said in the interview earlier, that I'm new to the team, so I don't really want to risk the ball too much. And it's about being courageous, and it's about being positive when you get the ball. And I've been trying to do that since I've been here, and hopefully with a few more games I can keep doing that.
Bielsa's always so strong on thinking of your feet and intelligence and changing formations. How many different options have you got to play in this match, and how ready are England to change when the option comes?
I don't know, to be honest. I just know that we are ready to go out and play against Germany. We know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and we're just looking forward to getting out there and doing the job, and hopefully we can do that.
Thanks, Carrie. I'm going to go back in the room to Ollie Foster from BBC.
Hi there, Kalvin. It's only 9 months. You're saying you're relatively new to this squad. Only 9 months since you made your debut. Are you exceeding your own expectations at this tournament so far, as we've talked about, playing in all 3 matches for every minute?
You could say that. You could say, if I thought about it 9 months, or even before 9 months ago, if I was going to play as much as I have for England, and especially in a tournament, I wouldn't have agreed with anybody. But the fact that I'm here now and I'm doing it, it's a testament to myself, but to the manager and the coaching staff as well, and I'm very happy to do that.
I mean, starting against Croatia was special, then the Scotland game was special in its own way, the Czechs topping the group, but Germany, that's another step up, isn't it? What would it mean to you personally to be going out there and starting again and being involved in this match?
I'd be very happy to start the game. Obviously, it's an honour. It's always an honour to play for England, and especially in games like this. I know obviously the history of the England-Germany games, but I just feel like it's another game. And obviously Germany are a good team, so like I said, I'm just looking forward to it.
You talked about the work you've been doing this week in the build-up. Jordan Henderson comes into play for half that game, came on for Declan Rice. So if Gareth sets you up the same way, that's a 3 into 2 kind of situation. How does that affect you in training, and the way do you think, right, I've got to step up here again?
Not necessarily. I just every day go out and try and do my best, and Jordan's been training with us for the last 2-3 weeks now, so it's not new to see him coming back in, and obviously I expected Jordan to come back into the team because he's such a good and vital player for England. I just feel like obviously whoever gets a nod and whoever doesn't will be there to support each other, so that's the main thing. But
you think you've clearly done enough to be in the mix, and what you've done over the last few days as well in training?
Hopefully. One of my main targets was to play as much as possible in this tournament and to play the first 3 games every minute. It's great for me, and I don't want to stop now. I want to carry on going.
You've talked about giving those attacking players the ingredients to go out and express themselves. Is there an acknowledgement from you all as a group that you haven't done that yet properly?
Obviously we know that there's not been, we've not had many chances on goal, or have not been many goals scored, but I feel like, in these type of games, it's down to one chance, and, like it has been in the win against Croatia and, the win against Czech Republic, it's, a couple of chances, and if we can be clinical in them chances, then it doesn't really matter how many chances we create as long as we win the game.
Robin Gosens and Kimmich have been getting rave reviews for bombing down at wing back. In your position, how do you counter that? What's it like coming up against that formation from players at the very top of their game who have clearly been making a difference so far at this tournament?
I'm not too sure. I don't really make much of it. Obviously, I know that Germany have done well throughout the group stage. They've got excellent players. And I know that Kimmich and Grossen have been doing very well in the last 3 games. So we know that they're going to be a threat, and it's just a matter of neutralising them in the game, and hopefully we can do that.
Just finally, we had this rather sad sight today of poor old Ben Chilwell and Mason Mount having to do their own thing on an adjacent pitch. Mason, a key part of that midfield 3 when the first 2 matches. How difficult has that been for everybody, really?
Yeah, it's been difficult, obviously, for both Ben and Mace and the full team. I feel like, they was absolutely gutted when, the news came out that they had to isolate for 10 days. So it's always going to be, a thorn in the side when we're missing quality players like that. But we've obviously had good players that have come in and done the job as well. So, the fact that, Mason, Chile are, near enough back training with us, we're looking forward to having them back, and hopefully they can be involved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ollie. Now go online to Graham Smythe from the Yorkshire Post.
Hi, Kalvin. Have you had much interaction with your Leeds teammates at the tournament? Thinking about Robin in particular ahead of this game.
I've had a bit of interaction. I've obviously spoke to Liam during the group stages, and I spoke to Robin as well. But it's not been anything to do with England, Germany. It's been personal reasons, and just asking how he is and how he's getting on.
And what about the rest of the squad? Have you had much support from home?
Yeah, I always get support from the lads. The lads are very caring and very loving when it comes to stuff like this, and I've had a lot of messages from various different teammates, and it's always nice.
Thanks, Graham. Back in the room is Steve Scott from ITV.
You've acknowledged the sort of historical rivalry between England and Germany, and I know you'll be told, and anyway, that you play the game, not the occasion. But actually, how easy is it to do that?
Personally, I think it's quite easy, because obviously I've not been involved in any of the games in the past. Like I said before, this is just another game for me. It's another important game for obviously the country as well. So, regardless of whether we did well against Germany years ago or whether we didn't, it doesn't really matter now. It's about Tuesday and how we can go forward in this tournament.
Have you noticed any change in the atmosphere in the camp since the group stages ended? We're now getting into the business end of the tournament. Is it a little bit more intense?
Not really. It's always been very chilled out. It's always been very relaxing, and I feel like because we've been away from home for so long, it's nice to have that. It's nice to just be in a chilled out environment and everyone getting on well.
And just going back to you talking about perhaps taking more risks on the pitch going forward, what is it that actually stops you doing that? Is it your instinct? Is it you see your role as defender first and creator next?
Who knows? Obviously I am a defensive midfield player, but I love being on the ball. So regardless whether I am defending or attacking, I want to do my best. And like I said before, I felt like I was new to the team, and it kind of. You kind of feel like you don't want to lose the ball in case anything happens. It's just in everyone's head. I think nobody wants to lose the ball, and Germany go up the pitch and score. So, like I said before, it's just about being courageous on the pitch and being confident in yourself and being positive as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Before the roof collapses, we'll go online to Matt Reid from Kick Magazine.
Hi, Kalvin.
Hi.
Hello, mate. Games like this and big key matches in tournaments are moments in careers that can really define a career, not to put any pressure on. You've obviously already had one of those big moments in the first match where everyone was talking about, and you followed that up now with further performances where you've kept your place and you've deserved to, because you've been creating and breaking up play, and you've been a consistent 7 to 8 out of 10, which must be very pleasing. How conscious are you of the fact that matches like this game against Germany, can be a game which might get played back to you for the next 20 years? And how inspiring is that as an idea of the enormity of what you can achieve in this tournament as a modern icon of football?
Yeah, it's just thinking about it now, it gives me goosebumps. Obviously, being able to, be involved in a match as important as this for your country, it's something that obviously you want to do well and you never want to forget. So, the way I see it is I just want to go out there and do my best and, leave everything out on the pitch. And if I do that, then, I'll come off it with no regrets.
Thanks, Matt. We'll stay online. We'll go next to David Alaves.
Hi, how are you? In your area in the pitch in Germany, you might have Toni Kroos, and he's usually the guy that touches the ball more times, gives more passes, moves the ball around all the time. Have you studied him, and what do you find more tricky in trying to get the ball back from him or not letting him play? Thank you.
Yeah, obviously I've watched many games that he's played in. I've seen videos on YouTube of how he plays the game, and he's a midfield player that's he's been at the top level for so many years. So I know that when we come up against them on Tuesday, it's going to be very difficult. It's just the matter of fact whether I can stop him, and hopefully I can do that.
Thanks, David. We have time for one more in this live section, which will be Scott Wilson of the Northern Echo.
Hi, Kalvin. Similar type of question in a way. To what extent, when a tournament's on, Kalvin, do you watch the kind of other games and the other teams and focus on their central midfielders and what they're doing and kind of, so for example, Jorginho and Verratti last night for Italy, do you watch them and see how they're playing and kind of, pick up little things that they might be doing or not doing in the tournament?
I think when I always watch football, I always, look in the area that I play in. But obviously the camera's not always panned on their players, so I feel like whenever I have the chance to watch certain players in midfield, then I'll do that. And like I said, I've watched so many players on YouTube, and at Leeds we have video clips sent to us every day of different players. So I know a lot of midfield players that are world class, and I just try and if I'm playing against them, I just try and do my best to stop them. But if I can take some of their things that they do in a game, and I can try and do it in training or do it in a game, then that was better for me. So I'll just keep trying to do that.
Thanks, Scott. Okay, that concludes the live section of today's Media Conference.